Hey there, it's Trisha, and I wanted to go over the trades that I took on Friday, February 6th. And I used two trade setups. Mostly all I've been doing is scalp trade setups. Those are what we get mostly anyway. But I still require confirmation on three charts with the indicators, all in alignment, in order for me to take my trade. And we always drill down to our smaller tick chart to refine our entry and keep our stops tight and quickly, move our stops so we have a profit as well. I never take a stop larger than 2 points, so that is how I keep my losses to a minimum. And personally, I never will trade more than taking, like, let's say that I get three losers in a day, I stop trading for the day. It's highly unlikely that we get those, but that's in my plan. If I get three losing trades in a day, I'm done for the day. And typically, using these setups, you'll get between 2 and 5 trade setups a day. So anyway, with that said, you can go to www.easyemintrade.com and check those out. This is a trade that's set up at 9:33, and as you know, I never trade before 9:40. So this is a trade that I would have passed on. But if you're somebody who trades first thing in the morning when the cash market opens, then great. I wanted to point this out because this would have been a nice trade. You can see that we on our indicator, which is going up, price going down, so we have divergence. We had our scalp indicator. We got our first blue dot there. Once we see the first green momentum bar, you can hit a market order and enter. Everything was in alignment except on our trend indicator. It was not over 20. It was, it was rising, but you'll find that the indicators, like the trend indicator, typically first thing in the morning is not very reliable. You need to have the market open for just a little bit before it comes reliable, in my opinion. So, that's just something to think about. If you are somebody who does like to trade first thing in the morning, you don't necessarily have to wait for that indicator to be over 20. And by first thing in the morning, I mean like in the first, 5 to 7 minutes. So if you would have got on this trade, you would not have been trail stopped out until up here. That would have been an awesome trade. So good for you if you did it. This is a trade that I took at 9:45, and price going down, indicator going higher, right in this vertical bar. I always put the vertical bar so you can see where it sets up. I've got my first blue dot. Once I see that complete first blue dot, I hit a market order, and I got filled at 855.50, and all the other indicators on the other charts, everything was in alignment for this trade. So technically it looks like a good trade. Unfortunately, I'm trail stop. That's what I used to exit, and move my stop to here, and got stopped out right here, and it was a break-even trade. So that's what happens sometimes, even when everything sets up perfectly. So no big deal. You just take it and move on. Next trade that I took was at 11:04, and we've got price going sideways, indicator going higher, and we got our scalp indicator setting up. First blue dot right here where our vertical line is, hit a market order, filled over here, and actually moved my stop to here, and I got stopped out right here at 860.25, so that was a gain of 1 point. This is a trade that I took at 107 or thereabouts. Price going sideways. Actually, I chopped part of that off. Sorry about that. Indicator going higher. Scalp trade indicator setting up. First blue dot. Complete right where this vertical line is. Hit a market order and get filled over here at 863.25. And on Friday, I usually do not trade past lunchtime, but I happened to be here, but I did have to leave, so I exited the trade when I saw this indicator starting down here. So I just hit a market order and I got out at 866 for a gain of 2 3/4. Obviously, if you were here, you could have got a little bit more out of it, but I had to leave. I had to be somewhere by 2 o'clock, so had to cut it short. Like I said, I typically don't trade in the afternoon on Friday, but if I'm here, I will. So had to cut that short, but it would have worked out. Now, I did want to point out that the trend indicator was not over 20, but it was close to 20, and it was rising, and everything else was in alignment. So I decided to take that trade. I wanted to point out here that this is where the trade occurred, and another reason why I liked it was right on this bar here, which was just completing, I think, at that time. You could see that you're going to get a crossover here on this indicator. So I felt comfortable in taking that trade, even though the trend indicator was not at over 20 yet, but it was close to that and starting to rise. So that was why I took that trade and was willing to take the risk. So anyway, I took 3 trades on February 6th, and the first trade was a scalp that set up, and that wound up broke even on that one. Second one, scalp set up for +1. Third, scalp set up for +2 3/4 for a gain of 3 3/4. And as I've said before, anybody who's using the automatic trend lines on eSignal or TradeStation, if you see a setup occurring on those, by all means, take them. You know what to do. Just take the trend line breaks and then drill down to our smaller tick chart and look for the entries. Like I said, I've been lazy about drawing my trend lines in, so I haven't been paying much attention to the longer setups, the longer tick chart setups that are occurring. But by all means, you guys can take them. So anyway, you can go to www.easyminitrade.com and check those out.